Alright. Hey, what's up guys, my name is Chono. So this is a different kind of video than what you've probably normally come to expect from me as far as these Patreon exclusive videos go. And the reason is that I'm working on a lot of things right now, and it's all kind of a little bit overwhelming. And I just didn't know what it is that I wanted to show specifically in terms of like the code that I've been working on and all of that stuff. So I thought that instead of that, I would just kind of make a vlog style video, just kind of sharing, I guess, a few of my thoughts that I have about things that I want to do, or just, I guess it's more of like a story time with Cherno rather than like a, hey, check out all the code I've written, because the code that I've written I don't think is as interesting to show, at least this week, right? Sometimes I write code and I'm like, okay, like I want to show off this thing that I've done for my project. But instead, like today, I just thought that I would kind of talk to the camera a little bit, show you guys literally what is going on right here, because I don't make these kinds of videos for YouTube. I'm not as public, I think, with my life as a lot of other people. Like, I don't like to just make vlogs about me walking around my house and like, you know, looking at this, looking at that. Here's like all of my stuff on the floor. Like, this is what I, you know, everything I do I post to Instagram. Like, I'm not that kind of person. And I don't have anything really against that. Like, sometimes I do feel like being super like, hey, let's have an Instagram story that like, you know, 12 photos or whatever of an Instagram story, which is just like my whole day. Sometimes I like doing that, but generally I found that I kind of like to just almost keep to myself a lot more than I used to in the past, which is interesting. Don't know why that is, but that's just the case. But I thought that, you know, Patreon is cool because I don't have to worry about thousands of people kind of looking at this or being able to share this with everyone, really. It's just kind of like an exclusive thing for you guys. And it's cool because, you know, there's this whole idea of keeping a kind of journal style vlog, right? What I mean by that is, like, a lot of people like to get into vlogging, or they like getting into video making because it's almost like a blog. It's almost like a kind of, you know, even if you didn't publish the videos, just being able to keep a journal of what you've actually been up to, what you've achieved, what you're doing, is something that is pretty cool, right? Because you get to, even if you never watch the videos again yourself, like, you could look through them like in the future and be like, oh cool, you know, I did this, I did that, this is how I felt back then, now I'm different, now I've grown, I've changed. Apart from that, even if you never make this again, by me kind of sitting down here and talking to you guys in the camera, it's almost like, in a way, a form of rubber duck debugging, I guess. Speaking of ducks. It's almost a form of rubber duck debugging. That was a gift from my wife's sisters. Anyway, it's almost a form of me sitting down and being like, okay, well, I need to get my mind in order here, because I'm sitting here in my office at home. This is not something that I'm used to doing, because I'm used to having a real job where I go out and I have a team of people and I'm in the city in like some skyscraper, you know, doing actual real development work. Now that I've kind of lost that in a way because I've chosen to go and do YouTube full time, it basically ends up creating this different environment that I'm not too happy with, because, well, you know, I'm a very social person. Like, I like to talk to people, I like to hang out with people, I like to bounce ideas off people, I like to tell people what I'm doing and hear what they're doing, you know? And I don't have that opportunity anymore, so I think that talking to a camera is really, what this comes down to is the fact that I kind of just want to be able to tell you guys what's going on, and then you, like my kind of team friends, we'll call it, can kind of watch this video, and hopefully you'll be interested in what I'm actually working on. I think that, you know, the fact that you are patrons of mine means that you probably do want to support me in some way, unless you're just strictly after like Hazel Dev Code or something like that and you don't care about me at all, which is cool. I mean, I get it, but, you know, I'm a little hurt, but it's okay. So I want to kind of take this Patreon thing and make it more of like a, hey, you guys are my closest friends as far as internet friends go, obviously. Like, internet friends, you know, supporters, fans, subscribers, whatever, people following me, and my kind of development. There's, you know, 178, I think, thousand of them on YouTube, and that's fine, but this is like the close kind of group of friends, right? These are like the best friends. So what I want to do with you guys is, again, take this more of like a real approach, where this is like gonna, I mean, I'm not gonna edit this probably, like I prefer not to, so that it doesn't take up too much time. I'll be honest with you guys as well. I'm not going to edit out that cough, for example. But this is going to be a lot more real. And I think that's going to be cool because that's going to be something that I can hopefully give back to you guys. Because, you know, I do really appreciate what you're doing. The fact that you guys do support me, even if it is just $3 a month, you know, that adds up over all the different people who are giving $3 a month. And that ends up making enough money for me basically to have a career out of this and be able to work on projects that I want to work on and teach you guys and do all of this cool stuff, which is something that I've wanted to do for a very long time. I mean, I'm torn between... Anyway, there's a lot of things I want to tell you guys, honestly, now that I have this new group of best friends, which is sounding pretty cool, actually. But anyway, now I want to tell you guys a lot, and I kind of... That's why I think that these videos, I'm going to try and definitely make something like... Whoa. Bumped my coffee cup. Something, it's empty, don't worry. Something like this every week, I think is pretty reasonable, depending on if you guys like it. I mean, if you guys hate this, if you're like, what are you doing, man? No one wants to look at your face and listen to this. That's fine. I can maybe hopefully do something a bit more, a bit better than this, but... And, you know, I mean, I do also want to share code every now and then. It's just that I don't want to force myself to share code because sometimes it's boring. I'm not interested in sharing it, and then it just ends up being something quite silly. Anyway, so we'll see how these go. If you guys could leave a comment either on the Patreon post or on the video post, because this will be an unlisted video on like the channel exclusive channel. If you want to just leave a post there, just letting me know what you think about this. Obviously the video hasn't finished yet, but that would be cool because as I try new things, you know, I like to get feedback so that I know if it's worth me doing or if I can do something better. Anyway, yeah, this is completely raw. Like this t-shirt I've been wearing all day. This is not like okay, it's time to film a real video. I better go to my wardrobe, get dressed, do all of that stuff. If you guys want to hear more about my video process as well, if there's anything you want to know, really, just leave a comment below and I'll try and make like a list of this stuff and I can just answer it bam, 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 which should be pretty good. Okay, anyway, so this is basically what my office looks like right now. I'll show you guys. I've never done a, how should I hold the camera? I'm not done talking, but I've never done, I hope this microphone picks up everything well. Oh, 11% battery. This is going to be problematic. Might have to stop recording and make an edit here. I've never really done a, what should we call it? Like a setup video, an office tour video, like ever. So this is going to be pretty cool. You guys are the first. Seriously, I've never done this in my life. This is what my office looks like right now. It's a complete mess. There's a filing cabinet in the middle of the room. There's cables on the floor. Let me just explain a little bit about what's going on here. And I am on 10% battery, so if anything just cuts off, that's going to be cool, all right? So we have my primary kind of programming setup that I've got right now, which is basically I have this Gigabyte Aero laptop that I bought about half a year ago, specifically because the focus really doesn't like that laptop. Anyway, specifically because I knew that I was going to go traveling like to Europe for over a month. I wanted a good computer that I could edit on. It's got an RTX 260 graphics card, which is another thing I was really interested in because I really wanted to do some ray tracing, like programming and get that into Hazel and all of that stuff. So that's basically my primary computer right now, which is interesting because I have, you know, this computer, which is under the desk there, which is like, you know, an AMD Threadripper, like 16 cores, 32 threads, like it's, you know, got a GTX 1080 Ti, like it's a really beefy, it's like $5,000 computer, Australian dollars, that I built about 2 years ago, I think, and yet I'm on a laptop now, so that's something that's interesting. I really like the ultra-wide monitor. What I'm looking at right now, by the way, what I was doing before this isn't staged or anything, is I want to start getting gizmos into the Hazel Dev branch. So there's this thing called IamGizmo, I guess. It's an IamGUI thing that I have actually used before, and it's quite good. So it's not perfect, so I might have to tweak it a bit, but that's something that I want to get into Hazel pretty soon. But anyway, ultra-wide monitor, I've been digging this. Over here I've got a photo I took of my wife. We went to this place. If anyone's from Australia, if anyone's from like Melbourne, then you'll know what I'm talking about. But there's a place called Lake Mountain, which is basically, it snows there in winter. It's probably the worst place to go for snow, but this was a particularly good day. And it ended up being really good, so I've got that photo there. So I bought a photo printer about 2 years ago, and it was like a complete waste of money. I don't know why I did it. It was like $1,200. And I literally printed like 10 photos on it because it had 12 ink cartridges, right? Completely ridiculous. Anyway, that I printed on it because it has very good black and white printing. So that's just there. Don't know why I didn't take that photo. It's just something I found on the internet, and I wanted to print it because I wanted to test out my printer. 100,000 subscriber thing, I finally hung that up. I had that for about a year, and it was just lying like on a shelf somewhere before I actually put a nail to the wall or a screw to the wall, and I actually hung that up. 2 screws. Fun fact, this actually has like 2 screw thingies there. So I bet you didn't know that. 5% battery, the channel logo and the Hazel logo. I really wanted to print these. I was gonna hang them up, but I ended up buying this like shelf thing from IKEA, and they're just sitting here and they look quite nice. My wife and I are quite into plants, by the way. So we've got like stuff here and here. This is just in the office. What do I have? This is the main camera I shoot all my videos on, which is a Sony a7 III. Let me make it a bit brighter. This video I'm shooting on a Sony a6500. And then the lens that I use most of the time, in case you guys are interested, is a Sigma Art Series. This is a 35mm f1.4, beautiful lens. I have an 85mm Art Series lens as well. They are fantastic. I absolutely love the Sigma lenses. So good. Good for photos as well, but it's really works really nice for video. Chono pillow, which I've had for years. I have a whiteboard here. Yeah. I think I'm just gonna cut the video there because I'm on 4% battery and I really don't want this to like, not even write the video file if it doesn't work or something. So I'm just gonna charge my camera and then I'll be back. Okay, so obviously it was gonna take way too long to charge the battery on this camera, so it's charging there. I just put a tiny lens on this camera, and this is the a7 III that was here. And we're gonna continue. So I have like a whiteboard here that I pretty often use to plan stuff. So there's just some stuff here that I've been working on. I go through like 3 of these a day. I wipe stuff off and write new stuff on. So this is not like an indication of what I've been working on all week or anything like that. But that's super useful. I really like that. I've had that for like 4 years probably. So there's this question of why is there like a complete mess on the floor? And this actually is a fun story. So this filing cabinet is something that I actually got from EA. Because we moved offices. We used to be in like kind of a smaller office, and then we moved like to the city into like a big like city building. And we had to get rid of a lot of furniture, and so they kind of just let everyone take stuff home that wasn't being kept for the new building. And so I took this filing cabinet home and like a couple of bin bags and some other stuff. And it served me pretty well, but eventually the lock broke and I couldn't get this thing open. And I used to lock it. The only reason I used to lock it, because it's not like anyone's going to steal anything here in my house, but anyway, I used to lock it because the drawers would just open by themselves a bit if it was like, I guess the floor's not completely level here or something. And that would be really annoying. So if you lock it, the doors don't open by themselves. They don't just slide out. The drawers, I mean. It broke. The key still worked, but it did nothing. So I tried to drill through it. I don't have any metal drill bits. I think they're all like for masonry stuff. So it didn't work. I had to basically I unscrewed a bunch of stuff from the bottom. I used a hammer to pry it open. Anyway, long story short, I finally got this open. This is the stuff that was like in the bottom drawer. This was trapped. The stuff here was trapped in this filing cabinet for like, I want to say over a month. So that was really frustrating because I have a second computer set up here, which is the real one. It has no mouse. I always had to disconnect the mouse from here, plug it into there, and I did that for like over a month. This has like 2 mice in here. Like it's this one here. Anyway, the point is, I'm glad that I finally got that open, but that's also why there's a mess here. And yeah, like, I mean, I'm just being completely real here. Like, this is exactly what I just did before I made this video. And I even left everything here. I didn't clean everything up. This is not supposed to be a fake video where everything's perfect. Yeah. Anyway, what else? So this computer is, I guess I mostly use it as a video editing computer. My wife also uses it. So sometimes when we're working on stuff, like, you know, she'll be doing her own stuff here. Sometimes she helps me out with some YouTube stuff. That happens on that. She's usually here, and then, you know, I'm programming or doing whatever I'm doing here. I have actually made and edited videos here. You can see the microphone is set up, like, you know, through that interface and into the laptop here. So I do that as well, I guess. And then, yeah, and then this is just, yeah, that's just that computer there. which is very powerful, but I find that I use this a lot more often now. Anyway, and it's cool that it's on a laptop because I can take that into the living room or work really anywhere I want to work. What else is interesting here? Curtains. Recently got curtains finally from IKEA, which was, one thing I did actually, which was kind of cool, is I painted all the walls white. So the walls used to be kind of a yellowish hue, which I hated, like to the point where I did not want to work in this room. I don't know why, but it was just really annoying me. So I painted all the walls white, gave it 2 coats of paint, which took like a while. I did it over like 3-4 days because I didn't want to be painting all day. But it looks really nice now, so I'm really happy with that. And then that's kind of what motivated me to kind of recreate the whole office as well. So yeah, most of the furniture here is from IKEA. That thing is, this desk is, which is like it's like a standing desk. You can see there's like a crank here that you can kind of use to make it like a standing desk, which I actually do quite often. At EA, we used to have like electronic standing desks, which were quite good. That's from IKEA. These tables are from IKEA, but they're really old. I've had them for years. So most of the stuff is from IKEA. I have very neglected studio monitors here as well, which I don't know where to put them because see, there's not much space on this desk, and then I don't know if I want to clutter my desk either. They actually used to be in my music studio, so at my parents' place, just because they have quite a large house, and obviously I used to live there when I was younger. I have like this whole like room on like the first floor. It's like a huge open room. It's basically like a music studio. I've made it into a music studio. I record stuff there, I play stuff there. You know, there's a kind of an acoustic upright piano there, and like I've got a whole bunch of guitars there, even more than I have here in this place. And then I have like, you know, like a computer set up and monitors and PA speakers and like amplifiers, and I've got all the stuff there. So they used to be there, but I needed speakers here, so I took them like a year ago, but I might put them back because they're huge. And I don't think you need speakers like this for a desk. Usually I edit videos and headphones as well. Okay, anyway, I guess I'm going to wrap up this video here. Hopefully you enjoyed this little office tour. I don't think I've missed anything. Usually I sit here, right? And then in case you're interested in the stuff I'm using, I go through keyboards pretty often. Like I don't buy new keyboards, but I have a bunch that I've bought over the years. This is a Ducky Shine 3. It's got red switches on it. I'm using this at the moment just because I felt like it. Otherwise, I've got this Corsair. I don't know what this is. It's like got red backlighting. It's not RGB or anything. Here it is. Corsair K70 Lux. So this has brown switches. Got that here. I used that for a while. This is a Dust Keyboard 3. It's an ultimate one with no labels, which is really cool. It's also got brown switches. I used all 3 of these at EA as well. I kind of collected them over the years, I guess, because I would want a new keyboard and I'd buy one. But at the moment, I'm using a Shine 3. This is a Corsair mouse. I don't know what it is. I mean, hopefully if you Google it, you'll find it if you really want it. I don't remember what it is. I think that, you know, I'm not one of those people who needs a particular keyboard. I think that a nice mechanical keyboard is nice to have. You don't really need one if you don't have a mechanical keyboard. It's fine. I don't think that, you know, I think the technical director of our team at EA, who's like very high up, you know, he didn't have a mechanical keyboard. He used like a Microsoft keyboard that's like $40 or $20 or something. So I mean, I don't think that you need to be all elitist about the keyboard that you use. I think it is fine, really, to use whatever. And then same with the mouse. I like this one because it's, you know, for me, for a mouse, I use a mouse probably more than most programmers maybe, because I feel like a lot of people like keyboards and they try to do everything with it, which I think is a mistake. But anyway, as long as it has back buttons, a back and a forward button, because that's useful for navigating code or navigating web pages. So that's kind of nice to have. And yeah, this mouse mat, I don't know, I've had that for years as well. I don't particularly like Razer. I don't have anything from Razer here, except maybe that mouse here. But so I'm not like a Razer fanboy, but I've got a Razer mouse pad. So yeah. Anyway, I think I was going to wrap up this video. I guess I'll sit down and do a bit of an outro. This is going to be awkward to transition, I guess. Just put this here, and then we'll try and rotate it, and then I'll have to rotate the monitor to see myself. Oof, that's quite a bit lower than I thought it would be. There we go. And it's probably gonna, from the weight, I feel like it's gonna fall backwards, but anyway. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. As for what I'm gonna be working on for the rest of the day, I really want to, I'm planning this thing, I wanna make like an OpenGL series, or rather I wanna continue that OpenGL series and actually do something of use in it. I want to construct like a base OpenGL library that I can publish on GitHub and people can use that just as, it's like a framework basically for teaching and for developing OpenGL. Kind of like what I did with the tests in that series, but I want to kind of, revamp it, make it a little bit more like Hazel, in the sense that like you'll have like events and like an application and a layer, I guess, that you can use, and IMGUI built in and all of that kind of stuff. And I think once I do that, I want to actually start making standalone OpenGL videos that are gonna be quite useful in the sense that, like, instead of like, hey, this is a vertex buffer, this is an index buffer, because I've already done that. I want to actually be like, okay, well, we're just gonna, add font rendering or add batch rendering, or we're gonna make we're gonna load a model in, load a mesh in and render it. I want to start doing actual like one-off videos that are just like, not like a series, but one video probably quite concisely cut together, kind of like what I did with the visual profiling video that was part of the C++ series, where it was like kind of mostly voiceover and not like live or anything. And I want to put together OpenGL videos like that. So I do want to get around to that, and that OpenGL framework I think is kind of done. I'm just like thinking about what else I want to add to it. But basically, I guess I can show you guys that. Let's see. OpenGL Core. I've called it like GL Core. I don't know what I'll actually call it. I might give it a name, kind of like Hazel has a name, just because I like giving names to things. Welcome to looking at a screen. So basically, and this is going to be maybe hopefully not too frustrating to look at, but basically it's like a whole kind of core framework that's built using Premake and all of that. It's kind of similar to Hazel, I guess. But the idea is that you can just make like a file. So in other words, we have sandbox layer here, right? And then you can just dump all of your OpenGL code in here, and then you've got like a full-on running program, right? So in other words, like you can see on attach, we have like, we're setting up the renderer, we're loading like a shader. There are utility functions, which are going to be part of like the GL Core utils namespace, just because you probably don't want to write boilerplate code for loading shaders or anything like that. And then, we're creating vertex arrays, vertices, doing all the basic stuff, indices, whatever. And then on update, we're just simply drawing that via draw elements, right? And you end up with something that's really simple. It's kind of event driven, so if you want to easily add a camera or any kind of controls, you can, because you've got an event dispatcher and everything set up here. This stuff doesn't even compile. What's going on here? Delete vertex arrays. That needs an ampersand. Surprise. And I said this video wouldn't have live coding. Actually, I'm not sure I said that. Okay, and you can see you've got kind of this thing, it's got GUI support and everything, and yeah, we're just rendering this really basic square here. So that's kind of what I want from the OpenGL framework, because now that you can do this, I can show people how to do, batch rendering OpenGL right within this file, and we don't have to worry about setting up like a camera or any kind of IMGUI stuff for it, because it'll have all of that stuff already. It'll have like a framework that people can start kind of learning and experimenting with OpenGL from. So that's kind of my goal of what I want to do with the OpenGL series. I'm kind of working on that, but then again, like with Hazel, I've also got a lot of plans, which I might talk about later. Anyway, this video is dragging on. I don't want to make it too long for you guys, but let me know what you think of this kind of video. I guess I'd be happy to make more of this stuff in the future. This was quite fun for me. Yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.